Let's investigate the nature of MGTOW, its historical roots, and its role in the modern world.
It's vampiric in the modern world.
A man who has realized the reality about women and how they take advantage of and use men for their own personal gain and has decided to take the figurative RP and go his own way is called a mentor, or men going their own way. When women disrespect men and take what they have worked for without apology, the men usually go their separate ways. Through taking the RP, men gain insight into the realities of gender roles and see how much more freedom and fulfillment they may experience in today's society when they remove modern women from it. The A to Z of MGTOW and why men should care is next. The layers or thickness of a makeup towel are normally 4 but can go up to 5. These have developed as an attempt to provide some kind of rationale for the rise in men's erudition and the changes it has brought about in their daily lives.
Live?
The first category of mentors consists of men who are on the first rung up the social ladder, commonly known as the purple pill. A man is someone who has a firm grasp on the ways in which women can manipulate men through social, legal, and justice systems, as well as the various emotional hot buttons they may employ to gain their favor. This man knows well the dangers he's putting himself in, yet he still feels it's worth a shot to find happiness with one of these women. They haven't given up on their foolish optimism, so they're ready to take a gamble.
I'm just gonna take a gamble.
The male student at level 2 has finished his training and has a thorough knowledge of women. He's at a stage in his life where he can handle duties of a shorter duration, but he won't commit to anything as long-term as marriage because of the inherent dangers. At this third and last stage, the man withdraws from any social contact with women and loses hope in the dating pool altogether. He knows what's coming and decides it's best to avoid it.
He knows.
Because of the continual drama he has encountered with women, the man essentially avoids them to the maximum extent possible and, to avoid any confrontations with them, he transforms into a ghost and even ghosts them. The man has become a bit too radical in his views. After this, he no longer cares about him.
No one cares!
Where do you put your current skill level? Knowing this will help you better understand your place in the dating world and how to interact, or not interact, with women, as a man who knows the truth cannot be easily used against him, while a man who is uncertain of the nature of women and wants to suppress his masculinity will be financially, emotionally, and even physically abused. He will not be coerced into marriage for the sake of material gain and security.
Marriage?
In addition, it's important to realize that modern women are much more likely to have multiple lovers and casual physical partners in their 20s before settling down with a charming, naive, easily misled BP guy who doesn't know the realities of being a woman and will sleep with a number of partners than they were a century ago. They have been misled by women, gone through terrible divorces, and witnessed firsthand how women utilize the system to steal away their savings, all of which contribute to men taking the RP to go their own way or an MGTOW. The vast majority of those listening have been exploited or manipulated by a woman at some point, and this has provided them with the much-needed reality check they required in order to comprehend and appreciate women and their behavior.
Woman! Oh, woman! Oh, woman!
After the age of 30, males age like wine while women age like milk. Women tend to age more quickly and poorly than males do. Men don't wear nearly as much cosmetics as women do on a daily basis, and as they get older, they start to make more money, which makes them look even better to women.
More money?
If a man hasn't found the woman he wants to spend the rest of his life with by the time he's 40, he's probably never going to find the woman of his dreams since he's witnessed how women use and abuse men for their own agendas and subject them to arbitrary, tests throughout his life. These tests are analogous to the ways in which a woman could determine whether or not a guy is manipulable by demonstrating that he is subservient and doing everything in his power to continue providing for her while concealing his manly features. She demoralizes him, embarrasses him, and takes him through an emotional odyssey.
So emotional.
It's paradoxical that after a man starts doing everything a woman wants, she stops caring about him because of the guilt he causes her to feel. The gentlemen among us know that a woman's love or concern is always conditional on your ability to provide for her life as she desires, and that after she has wrung as much money as she can from you as she can, she will go on to the next man. Warning: men will risk anything for the woman they love.
love a woman.
This includes starting wars, constructing empires, creating groundbreaking innovations, and even laying down their lives. The opposite is true with women. They are naturally selfish, and therefore their support for you will always be conditional on receiving something in return. Women have been socialized to expect full access to a man's financial riches. By stating things like, "You're not man enough for me," women aim to make men feel guilty and inferior. Men notice this and rightly conclude they don't want any part in such a sexist game. Yet a man is expected to keep a straight face while putting up with all of her pampered, entitled, and self-centered antics. Do you believe he could have accomplished this if he had a woman who constantly berated his intelligence and urged him to either slow down or stop working on his inventions? No way.
No way!
With that much negativity in his life, Nikola Tesla would never have invented anything, and we would never have known him. If a modern American or Canadian woman wants to get married and start a family, she should do so while she is still living in her own country. Otherwise, her children will be returned to their moms if she files for divorce and moves to another country, such as Thailand or Mexico. Being a nice guy won't get you anywhere because you'll only be used temporarily before being abandoned. But these guys have it the worst because once a woman is secure, she goes on to the bad boy because she's always liked men. Men who aren't physically appealing, either because of their own flaws or because of nature, have a hard time finding dates since women find them repulsive and never consent to go out with them. Contrary to popular belief, it is much more challenging for an unattractive man to find success in the dating market than it is for an unattractive woman. Some of them go far away from home to meet ladies, but that usually doesn't end well because basic female nature is the same wherever you go.
Ladies.
In order to gain independence from their husbands and to save money, many brides go to the United States. In typical Japanese service settings, both sexes work together. Agreement in which each party knows what to expect from the other and what to offer in return. For instance, if a female is willing to go out on a date with you for a set fee, the two of you can make a deal in which the girl pays for lunch and the guy pays for dinner, among other things. It's imperative that men stand up for what it means to be a guy and dispel the myth that being a male is inherently bad. Take the RP and forge your own path.
I forged my own path!
In conclusion, the above is the complete A to Z of MGTOW and the information that males should have about it. I think you should now have a good grasp of what MGTOW is and what TOW men represent.